This is English shorthand dictation number 113 and the dictation speed is 140 words per minute. Ready? Start. As we know, energy system is facing severe challenges. The fossil energy sources such as oil and natural gas have become scarce. In a country like India, especially in rural areas, renewable energy sources are abundant. We can exploit wind energy, solar energy, hydroelectric energy, and biomass energy, keeping in view the local conditions. The development of renewable energies can propel economic development. For example, manufacture, maintenance, installation and consultancy services can create tremendous job opportunities. The most important of all is that for the abatement of greenhouse gas emissions, development of renewable energy is the only alternative left. The main barriers for development of renewable energy are cost, market share and policies. The cost of renewable energy is much higher as compared to the traditional energy, and therefore there is a lot of uncertainty in terms of its development. To develop it at an industrial scale, we have to invest in research and innovation. Lack of enough capital for research and development and dependence on import of key equipment are major causes behind the slow development of this sector. May I know from the Honorable Minister whether the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has undertaken any macro analysis to take a holistic view of this sector and also to understand and transcend the barriers that I have mentioned a little earlier? Honorable Member, I am grateful to you that you have asked me this question. As far as renewable energy is concerned, let me tell you that hydroelectric energy, wind energy and biomass energy cost us a little over 3 rupees. However, the cost of the solar energy falls between 15 to 20 rupees. It is a little costly. We are trying our best to make it available at a less costly rate. We are trying to give a fillip to these industries. Under the Jawaharlal Nehru scheme of the Government of India, we are trying to Indianize this sector. As more and more industries are set up and consumption increases, the cost will definitely come down. As far as the research and development in this sector is concerned, the number of projects sanctioned each year by the government during the period of last 3 years is 40, 18 and 29. And the amount sanctioned for the corresponding years has turned out to be more than the actual expenditure. Thus, the government has sanctioned a large amount for research and development in this field over the years. I assure you that the government is alive to its responsibility. In the Parliament House also, we are trying to reduce our dependency on traditional energy sources. From the next session, we plan to install renewable energy sources to provide electricity to the Parliament House also. Under the Universal Immunization Program, we are giving at the moment 6 vaccines in 9 shots across the country. There was a suggestion by the advisors and those who are looking after the immunization program that the new vaccine should be introduced and 5 vaccines should be administered in 1 shot. So it would be 5 in 1. We have received an offer of funding from the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization and we want to supplement that. Initially, we wanted to start with 5 states and ultimately we thought that 5 states would be too less a number because whenever we introduce a particular scheme, we would like to introduce geographically at least in different parts of the country. So we thought that the foreign support should be supplemented with domestic support. We were in the advanced stage. We had worked out the details and we had almost identified the states. Meanwhile, we had referred this to the Health Research Department. The report of the Health Research Department is yet to come, stating whether we should introduce this in the Universal Immunization Program or not. In the meantime, somebody had filed a PIL that it should not be introduced, because we know that drug is such a system where so many pharmaceutical companies fight with each other globally and nationally as to whether this should be introduced so that it does not affect their companies, or should not be introduced so that it does not affect their vaccine producing companies. So, somebody has gone to court, and on 7th of April, the court has given us another date, that is in the month of July. At the moment, we are waiting for the report of the Health Research Department and the outcome of the decision of the Honorable High Court. I would like to inform the honorable member that the southern states in general are doing extremely well insofar as the immunization part is concerned. Unfortunately, in the rest of the country, it is not as good as it should be. What we have done is the most important thing. So far, we either purchase or get the vaccines from outside, from the World Health Organization, and these vaccines are being supplied to the state government. The state governments are not only provided with the vaccines, but they are also being given money to implement this on the ground. Generally, it has been seen that the number that we get from the states with regard to immunization is not happening on the ground. Now we have, for the first time, introduced tracking of children who are being immunized. I am sure this is a scientific method which we have introduced. We are going to have the telephone numbers of parents of all those children who are going to be immunized across the country. If the parents do not have the telephone, we may have the telephone number of any member of the family. And if even the family member does not have the telephone, then the telephone number of anybody in the village or the neighborhood. We are going to have a call center in Delhi, and through that call center, we are going to telephone and monitor with the help of the names and the telephone numbers which the state governments have given to us, and ask the health workers who are implementing this at the village level or at the town level to find out whether they have really been immunized or not. This is a new intervention. I am sure in the next month we are going to get the first result, and in the month of July I will be able to tell them the outcome of the new scheme launched. The availability of biomass in India is estimated at about 540 million tons per year, covering residues from agriculture, agro-industry, forestry and plantations. Principal agriculture residues include rice husk, rice straw, bagasse, sugar cane leaves, trash, groundnut shells, cotton stalks, mustard stalks, etc. It has been estimated that about 70% of these wastes are used as fodder, fuel for domestic cooking, and for other economic purposes, leaving behind 120 million tons of usable agro-industrial and agriculture residues every year, which could be made available for power generation. By using these surplus agricultural residues, more than 16,000 megawatts of grid quality power can be generated with presently available technologies. In addition, about 5,000 megawatts of power can be produced if the sugar mills in the country switch over to modern techniques of cogeneration. Thus, the country is considered to have a biomass power potential of about 21,000 megawatts. Madam, the ministry has been implementing a scheme for promotion of grid interactive power generation projects based on renewable energy sources, which includes projects based on biomass. In the last 10 years, a cumulative capacity of more than 2,000 megawatts has been commissioned, which includes both the bagasse cogeneration projects and the biomass combustion projects. The states which have taken a leadership position in implementation of biomass power projects are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Punjab and Rajasthan. The capacity of grid-connected biomass power project varies from 8 to 15 megawatts. In the current 5-year plan, it is planned to establish 2000 megawatts of biomass power, and during the first 3 years the achievement is 1100 megawatts. Madam, I have made it abundantly clear in my answer that biomass is one of the things for which we are going in a big way. I have myself seen some of the projects in Punjab. A rice exporter is already generating 30 megawatts from rice husk.